Hi, Warriors. BOE cuts, I believe, a quarter and cable rallies and gets back through that neckline. That's a feature. Euro lower. How you doing, Alexander? Blake, how are you? And AJ and malicious or Melitus. Welcome. Ingmar, Brand, Steve, Kman, Mike, Thando Nuganta, welcome. Ryan. Yeah, good for you, buddy. Thank you. Hugo, Glenn. Okay. So I'll go to Ryan right away. And your reaction to the BOE, my trading warrior brother. I know there are a bunch of clowns. We know that.
Yeah, they certainly earned their red noses today, I tell you. So for the first time ever, we had a split vote, and we had to have two votes. Eventually, they came around to voting for a cut, but it was much tighter than everyone had been predicting. Even me, I thought if they're going to cut, it's going to be a strong vote, like a 7-2, 8-1, 9-0, but it was a 5-4 in the end. Which keeps it very undovish, hence why we're seeing the pound rallying.
Okay. All right. And really unwinding Euro pound, it did not make a new high, failed to make a new high.
No, but I'm interested in buying that dip. I'd like to get down to 86 just so I can improve my average.
Okay. Well, an ABC might take it there.
Yeah.
Any comment on Euro? I know it went to a level I talked about, Blake talked about. I said 1650 to 17. Pretty negative candle here. Think it's
Yeah.
had it. You think it was a sale up there?
No, I don't know. No, I don't think so. We've had all this Russia headlines coming out, possible meeting with Trump. That was boosting risk. The euro was taking off this morning, and yeah, it's completely undone all that now. Obviously, you guys waking up and doing your thing, buying the buck. Yeah, so we're in a bit of a quandary here because we've got what's going on in the dollar versus maybe something moving on the Russia-Ukraine front that would be positive for risk.
Okay, which would probably be a weaker dollar.
That's the conundrum we were trying to work out because it's going to be good for the euro because it's good for Europe because obviously they're close to the conflict. But as Kay said on the flow show, is it going to be good for the dollar because Mr. Trump has brought peace to the region and no doubt he'll be looking to get construction firms into Ukraine to help rebuild. So could it consequently be dollar positive somewhere down the line?
Well, it definitely confluence there where the dollar touched today. See that? So
Oh,
that's a trend line that it broke out of, and also moving average coming in there, same level. So
nice, nice
we'll see.
confluence.
Yeah. So I started yesterday. I didn't add today longs. I'm going to risk these lows down here.
We were
Uh,
noting that exact same level in the chat room today too, Dale.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
it's a it's a good level, although below the neckline of the inverted head and shoulder pattern, but it's still, forging out pretty key support here. So
Yeah. Okay, so we have that happening, the dollar holding where it has to underneath it. I don't know. I guess you could say it would negate the breakout, which would build the case for new lows in the dollar. So looks like a pretty important day in the dollar, according to my view. Let's talk about yen is kind of dead in the water. Bring Kman in, keeps holding this moving average. Good morning. We get a rally back to 48, 49 here.
There is so much confusion about those tariffs on Japan, and because yesterday when Trump came out confirming the reciprocal tariffs. Japanese officials, Akazawa, then another one, they came out saying like, well, hang on a minute, because that is 15% on top of the 15% that we've already negotiated in the trade deal. So the yen weakened on the back of it, and then later Ishiba came out saying like, no, it's only the 15% we negotiated with the US. There's no 15% on top. And then reading around, nobody actually knows anymore. So everybody's counting on the US customs now to know exactly what kind of tariff they have to apply, because it's still not completely fixed. So the yen has been really moving around that. Before all of this, yeah, dollar yen was coming down just in sympathy with the rest of the dollars. But then since then, it's coming back better bid. Ishiba coming out saying he should be knowing, what exactly the trade deal is, but then the main negotiator, Ragazawa, is still on a plane back and forth between Japan and the US to try to negotiate different tariffs. So nothing has been put to paper, it seems, at least not signed off by Japan. So I think this uncertainty is going to continue, and in my opinion, going to limit yen gains for now. But we will see. It's yeah, I mean the jury is very much out of it. I think if you look at dollar yen, you have to look at the yen crosses as well. And those yen crosses, they are not yet seemingly ready to give in. You talk about euro yen, obviously after the Bank of England, sterling yen had a blip higher, but then you look at the rest of those crosses as well. They remain pretty big. You look at stuff like Aussie yen, for instance, that is still quite supported as well on dips. So it's going to be, dollar yen is really going to be driven as well by those crosses, I reckon. There's not too much else I can say about it. I bought some euro yen and then took the profit on it on the Shiba, and then now I'm really waiting, but I'm still more inclined to buy dips in that than sell the rallies right now.
And straight Euro USD, you have a view.
Yeah,
You were certainly right
good
about
target.
the rally, huh?
Good, very good target. I showed it this morning as well on the flow show. I even have a trend line up there coming in right around 117. Very, very good target. Also, as Ryan already mentioned, we were discussing a few things on the flow show in regards to geopolitics. But also, if you look at the German numbers, they have again been pretty weak. Industrial production came out pretty weak, so we printed that high over there, and we had what I would say a pretty logic correction. Now it will be a case to know what's going on with data again, I guess.
Okay. You want to
I would
comment?
say though, I've been talking about it. Could we possibly be building on a range here for maybe the summer month? It is still kind of shaping up like that, because we found support under that 14.5. Now we're flying up again. But in the current context of things, I doubt that there is a case, if you look at data, even if the US data were worse, the European data do not warrant euro dollar to really fly away, right? So I think we may be exactly in that range building formation right now, and trying to
Okay.
find the top now in the euro dollar.
Comments on gold and silver or
Yeah,
gold?
I mean, we've seen gold was up this morning on a lower dollar, but we stopped in front of the 3400, which is interesting. There's a small channel forming there with the underside around 33.65.70 now. We are staying inside, but when the news came out about potential meeting between Putin and Trump upcoming, gold lost about 25 bucks on the back of it, and that's exactly what I expect to happen when you get like better geopolitical news, less need for hedges, and then it's coming back a little bit, but it's not really backing off too much either. I think in turn, silver is still looking much better. Gold silver ratio is back. I wouldn't say going to fall out of bed, but it's back. You can see that it's back lower. I still prefer the silver side of things right now.
It's leaving a little bit of a wick right here. I'm not sure if this is, I bet this is 78.6 back up here, just
Yeah,
eyeballing it.
exactly. 38.5 is a level. 38.5 is a level, and but if you look at it on the global scheme of things, it's still extremely beat. I mean, the biggest indicator for me was that we never went back to retest at 35, and that in the medium term, for as long as we it doesn't really retest or even go a bit lower, is still the overall picture for me is still calling for what I said yesterday. I still think we're on our way to $41.
Yeah, I sold the gold again at 82.70. So when silver was making a new high, all we could rally off this candle break was about halfway, missed 61.8 by a couple bucks. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, a lot of confluence here at 33.40.
Okay.
Both
Yeah.
the both the moving averages are meeting there, so
Yeah.
maybe that's a magnet. We'll see.
And and
Go ahead.
you know where you're roughly wrong, right? It goes back above
Yeah,
24, figure five,
yeah.
probably not
Over
too.
over today's high. I
And
I
Yeah.
always I always know before I click the mouse where
and
I'm
that's
wrong, and we're going to be
That is
talking
it.
about that today.
That's
oh my
exactly
God,
what you
you
want to
guys are
do.
killing me.
What is
So
it?
that's what's important is not how you
Okay.
get, not how
Can
you
you
get
elaborate on
in.
it?
Yeah.
Why are we
So
killing
No,
you, Blake?
I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over you guys, but I'm like, man, that's exactly what you should be asking. Kman, you asked the perfect question.
I'm not
Were
asking the
you
yeah,
wrong?
question.
where are you wrong?
And then Dale said it just perfectly. Like, no, that's it. I mean, that's risk management, and that's what we're going to be talking about later today. So it's so refreshing, and it's got to be refreshing for people that traders that see us for
Never
the
hear
first
about
time.
it?
They hear us. Yeah, they're like, look, that's the first question you ask. You don't ask how much money you're going to make. How much are you going to risk? And what,
Yeah,
where are you wrong? And
that's right.
that's you guys are awesome. All
Uh,
right, sorry, I'll let
It's
you
going
go.
to be
do we
great.
still,
It's going to be great.
do
It's
we still need
today,
to do the webinar?
today in little less than 3 hours for those that registered. If you haven't, you still have time.
Yeah,
So,
actually, so let me talk about that really quick.
go ahead.
We have a risk management webinar, and like Dale said, in just less than 3 hours. It's gonna be epic. I'm so excited about it. I'm gonna tell a lot of stories that are gonna hit home. We're gonna have a good fireside chat amongst our teammates, see how we tackle the markets differently, and how risk management, is gonna change based on tolerances, style of trade, that type of thing. And I think there's going to be something for everybody. Um, Dale, we're looking at TradeGate Hub right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to let go of this stuff,
Oh,
share.
is that your chat room?
Yeah, I just was, yeah, updating a gold thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Sorry.
Here, I'll take over the charts from here then. So first of all, that show is going to be that show is going to be pretty epic. So I'll look forward to seeing you all there. If you don't, or if you didn't get registered, you can actually do that right here on the home page, right in the middle. It says, click here, get on our newsletter. Now, you may not get the link immediately, but don't worry. You'll get, once you're on the newsletter, you'll have actually the recording. So if you can't listen to live, we'll also be posting the link in the chat room as well. So anyway, yeah. So and I want to tip my hat to Kman. Kman. I was sitting there looking at the euro and looking to fade it higher yesterday, and I was I had the fib level drawn from here. And I was looking at the 618, got shorts around the 618, but you really focused up on the highs. And I'm like, you know what? I think Kman's right here. And so I loosened my tolerances a little bit. You know, my sizing was fine. Underside of this trend line was, you know, where I wanted to make sure it stayed below. And I heard what you had to say yesterday about staying in a range. And that is how I'm going to play the euro moving forward. I think we are in a range as we you know navigate through the summer here. You know, new highs are going to be hard to find in the euro. New lows in the, you know, having the dollar really strengthen too dramatically, it's probably going to be hard to find over the next couple of weeks. So the range bound environment that we may see for the next couple of weeks, especially with you know, everything that we've got going on. So Kman, how are you going to approach the euro for, you know, near term?
Exactly as I said. I okay. My overall bias, like medium, longer term, remains for a slightly weaker dollar, but we have to respect those ranges. So I'm not short euro dollar, but I would not be surprised that we get another attempt up there, and if it fails, then we're probably going to go back to, what is it, 115, 40, 50 or so, and starting to test that theory of breaking ranges. If it goes through 117, what is it, 35.50 or so, then we may be talking about something different, because that's where the euro started from, roughly after. We did a bit higher. We went around 118, but I think already 117, 40, 50 again. That's going to be kind of my tolerance level to say maybe it's not a range and maybe we're going to fly straight away higher. But until then, yeah, I think we can start to trade both ways from here. It's still bit, well, not against the sterling today because of the Bank of England, but it's still looking pretty bit versus on the cross side of things. So I'd say for now, we are probably going to find intraday or so. We should be finding support somewhere around low 116s. That's about it for now.
Yeah,
I
I
wanted
think
to,
that, go
oh,
ahead,
go
Dale.
ahead, Blake. Well, I just wanted to bring in, we haven't talked commodity currencies. I want would like Ryan's view if he sees anything actionable in either the loonie or Aussie.
Well, the Aussie's looking interesting again. We're getting up to a bit of a zone here around about the 65, 50-ish, 30, 50 area. We had a series of highs up there when we had the
Yeah.
break to 66. Again, this is following risk, I think, a bit more than anything else. Though we did have some positive China data out. Trade data was very good. Increase in activity there. So you can't keep this one down for too long, but it's a bit of a slow grinder. So we could be heading back towards a 66 level. Whether we got enough in the tank to do more remains to be seen. Dollar CAD, that's right in a zone. I've got a zone 137.20, 2035, and we're sitting right in the middle of that at the moment. And well, just above it at the moment. So this is a bit of a possible make or break situation. If we break under 137.20, we could head all the way back down to 136.50. But it's still showing a really positive trend. I don't know if Blake wants to change the chart.
I'm sorry, what were you talking about?
Okay.
The dollar CAD. Yeah, let me go ahead and pull it up.
And
Yeah.
guys, I just want to point something out for people that trade global bourses. Peter Goodburn, who's looking for 7,500 down the road, has a very bearish count in China, and so while we're melting up, he's looking for China to melt down and take out the April lows. So, we're all looking for the recession to start here, but it's a global deal. And, just like '08, we were the match that lit up the global recession. it can come from outside the U.S. So, I mean, if he's looking at uh, China giving all this up with everything they're doing, that may be the last snowflake for having the recession.
Well, funny you mentioned that, because we had the CEO of Maersk talking after their earnings stuff, and he's saying that China's leading the way in global shipping at the moment, container use and everything, and the rest of the world as well are seeing big pickup in business, excluding the US. So
Huh.
we could be seeing a bit of a pickup in the latter part of the year in global growth. Maybe the US gets left behind a little bit.
Okay. Well, this was, a pair trade would be long the U.S., short China. So that
Yeah,
sounds like it should be long China, right?
sounds like
All
it at the
the
moment. Yeah, I mean
okay.
they've had that trade data that I mentioned. That was July data. We've only just had US's June data on Tuesday, so they're a bit ahead in the time frame. And as I say, their activity, exports over 7%, imports over 4%. So they're shifting a bit at the moment.
Yeah, Blake, you know what? I'm looking at my screen right now. Pull up a weekly on the FXI, which is you know, the Shanghai ETF. We're way under the lows from 2020. We had a triple top up there, and right now this looks like a correction. It does look completely different than our stock market. Now there's a three drive to a top formation on the daily. Look at the weekly. Yeah. The weekly, it's even like more apparent. Look at that. See, now you see that it's probably just corrective after the big slam. They haven't recovered like we have from 22,
That's
or
about
it
the
would
50,
be
isn't it?
it'd be at 55 or 60.
Yeah, we're about the 50. Oh yeah, put it on.
Yeah. So anyway, just something to keep an eye on, like always, China. So we'll see. There's still no deal done, and President Trump is, unlike other countries, really kind of soft pedaling it with China right now. So maybe the deal is going to be better for us than China. Just something to think about. They pulled us out of the Great Recession. They were still growing. So there was a part of the world that was support for what we were going through with our financial crisis, housing crisis. China was still humming, and they were the engine. Now there are no engines. If there's any engine, it's us right now. Okay,
They're all
so
electric.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're Teslas, but that's the engine we have. So the engine means that we run out of power every few hundred miles and have to pull over. So anyway, I thought I'd bring it up. I think it's interesting. And if you
Yeah.
want to be a bear, why not be a bear in something that has had every opportunity to perform with the environment we've had since the April lows, and really all it's done is bounce. I rest my case.
Good point.
Well, Sterling's at highs for this session. What do we do with that here? What are you guys thinking, Ryan, Kman? I mean, we're above like the 618 retracement. We're back above the neckline. I mean, do you chase it up here? I mean, was it hawkish enough on the Bank of England on the votes to be bullish Sterling?
Nope, it wasn't hawkish. It was just Dundovish.
Well, okay.
There's a difference. But no, I definitely wouldn't be chasing the pound up here. There's enough problems politically and with the rest of the economy that I don't expect the quid to be sailing up for too long. But I'll trade it like you say with a risk in mind. I'll add to my euro sterling longs on dips, and happy to stay short the pound for the foreseeable.
Wow. All right. All right. Well, hey, as we navigate into today, I want to let everybody know, give you, since I've been publicly shouting it from the streets. I got limited out of my Euro Swiss last night. I feel naked that I'm not long at the moment, but I
What a
got
great call, man. Oh yeah, I forgot to ask. Did he see her or send her home, Blake?
no, he sent her home. He sent her home. He never saw her. So
Wow.
they went home, and it was we posted all the stories and in the news and research room yesterday about her. She left without a deal, only met with Marco Rubio.
Oh,
And
yeah. You called that, man. I'm telling you, you're
well,
not only a great technician, you have very good intuition about fundamental events that are happening around it and how to trade it. That was something that no one else talked about
Oh,
in Euro Swiss.
but
Probably
hey,
okay. All right.
Dale,
Okay, man.
guys in the room, me included, we have been long Euro Swiss for weeks, if not months.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. So Blake and the team, congratulations.
yeah,
Really
thanks.
great call.
I pulled mine off. Like I said, I feel a little naked that I'm not long right now.
Well,
After
pull your curtains down, bro.
yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I'm still buying dips. I'm gonna buy dips to the 200 DMA today. So if we get a dip back below 94 cents, I'm gonna be getting long. So just kind of keep everybody updated on that. Remember, we do have a risk management webinar in a couple hours. So make sure you guys are there. It's in 2.5 hours from now. If you haven't got the invite link, you should get it from Zoom. If you've already registered, if you haven't, make sure you sign up for the newsletter so you can get the recording, for sure, because you'll get a recording. You have to be registered in our newsletter to get that. I'm gonna go over here to I'm gonna pull up the dollar index, and we have the weekly unemployment claims coming out. There's the 10-year yield. Here's the S&P right here, which could have just completed a harmonic pattern, which again, if you're in the Forex Analytics S&P room or even the regular chat room, you know where that level's at. Where did I just put my, damn it? I thought I had it here. I guess I closed it. Here's the data flash. Let me just pull that over. And here you go, right here. We're going to be looking at those jobless claims. Now, the market's still expecting a very, very, very low number. So I don't know if we're going to come in, below 220,000, to be frank, especially after the ISM and what we saw in non-farm. So we'll see. Here we go. We got a couple minutes. I'm sorry, I was misreading the time. We got about 3 minutes. All right. Ryan, what are you looking to trade today?
Everything.
Okay, good. Great answer. No, what are you specifically honing in on today?
Right, well, as I said, I'm keeping an eye on euro sterling, adding back to the bits I cut and build up the long there. I may even have a little look at cable if we get to 134.50, a bit of an old level there. So I might just have a little stab at that one. I'd say we need to keep an eye on jobless claims just in case it joins the jobs party and throws a little wobbler after the NFP. It wouldn't be as surprising if that happened. So that's a bit of data that's coming up in just over a minute.
All right. Kman, what are you focused on today?
Pop. I mean, give us another test at 116.90 figure in the euro dollar, and we just for some clarity, and otherwise, yeah, I'd be a deep buyer on the Aussie. Really, I've let some of mine go in that 35 zone again because the 65, 35, 50 is always going to be a bit of a zone there. But I'm rather happily buying it back if I get something 65 or just below 65, because I've just got less than I had on. For the rest, as it comes, Blake. Don't forget we have Banxico tonight as well, right? We just had the
Yes, we do.
CPI out, Banxico tonight. That may be a bit of a mover. Expected to cut 25 BPs, but we will see what they think of things. So yeah.
Yeah, I've got some Mexican peso exposure, and also I'm not completely naked Swiss. I'm really focused on the dollar Swiss, which I happen to be long
Here,
dollar Swiss as well. So
here we
here
are.
comes the jobless claims. They should be out. Should be a little
Should be out.
weaker. I don't see them, but the
No.
way the price is moving. Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
226,
it's
226. No, no, no,
it's
no.
still pretty good data. I mean, if
Well,
you're
the,
if
the,
you're
the
out there trying to fade the
continuing
dollar on that, that doesn't
the
make
con
any sense.
the continuing claims have ticked up 40K. It has to be said it's got a week delay, right? On
Yeah.
the initial ones, but it did tick up 40K. Yeah, well, okay.
All
No
right. Well,
bad thing about
Neil, did you have an interview today?
No, I had a cancellation.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, then, guys, I'm gonna go get prepared for the risk management show. I've got a whole list of questions that I'm gonna be asking these guys. And we're going to be talking, just it's going to be a really great conversation with the team. Looking forward to it. It's something I've been looking forward to doing with our traders, our community for a long time. I do believe that, and this is from like, after 3 decades of being in this business, is your longevity in the markets really has to do with risk management. That's really what it we all slice and dice the markets differently, and that's going to be expected. There's no one way to cut up
Skin
the
a cat.
market.
Skin a
Yeah, I
cat.
mean, there's just not one way, and it's always silly for people to say, "Oh, my way is the right way." You find your own way in the markets and what works for you. But what you have to have is good risk management skills, no matter what. And without that, you're just not going to have longevity. So, anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna let you all go. A little pissed off this morning, so I'm gonna let you guys go. You guys have a great day. I'll see you guys on the morning edge in about 45 minutes. All right.
All right, thanks, Blake, and Kman, thank you. Congratulations, everyone who took advantage of Euro Swiss. That was a trade of the week. Okay, so great job, and you guys that are here in Face are watching us on X. If you caught part of that, peel some off and get in the community. The sale is still on. So take advantage of the prices and invest in yourself and surround yourself with traders better than you, and you'll rise to their level. And remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Good hunting today, and I have to try and find a few things to talk about today. Um, I want to learn risk management from the team too. Okay. So we can all learn from each other. See you later. Don't just count your pips or your stops, count your blessings. Thank you, guys. See you later.